WCB Podcast, your source for all things Chicago Blackhawks and everything hockey. With your host, Jarom and Tanner. Let's do it. Jarom and Tanner.
All right, it's another edition of the WCB Podcast presented by DraftKings, a part of the Hockey Podcast Network. It's Jarom, it's Tanner, it's Oakley. What's up, guys?
What's up, bud? I think we're doing pretty good, right? Yeah, he's got juice, so he's
Oakley
good.
making his big WCB debut here.
For the Blackhawks, that's right, bud.
Blackhawks. So yeah, quick week with us recording late last week. Only 2 games.
Okay, buddy. Yeah. All right, he's gonna play around, I guess.
Only 2 games for the Hawks, and it was completely 180 from each other, different ends of the spectrum, in a way, but also the same kind of experience for both of them, I think.
I mean, shot-wise, yeah.
Yeah, we'll take a look at that. A couple quick news throughout the Blackhawks organization, and then we'll take a look at the schedule coming up and do our 3 stars. Then NHL Talk, we will continue to talk about Arizona Coyote drama because it will never go away. And then you got playoff updates and the point race update.
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right. So let's kick it off with the first game on Saturday. The Hawks are taking on the Dallas Stars. And this has been spoiler season for the Blackhawks. And this game was no different because the Hawks had a chance to spoil the Dallas Stars' attempt at clinching not only the top seed in the West, but also the President's Trophy. And boy, oh boy, did I think that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, it was wild that they went up 3-0. And then then when Dallas started scoring, I was like, well, that's about right.
Yeah. Dallas came into this one on an 8-game win streak. So it was like no doubt about it. They had all the momentum going on. This team is just, in my opinion, one of the more complete teams in the NHL right now. They are just solid between the young players and the vets and their goaltending. They're getting it from both their guys, Ottinger and Wedgwood. Wow. Wedgwood? Scott Wedgwood? I don't know. But yeah, so the Hawks just get completely dominated in the first period in shots. Just looked like we were in for a long afternoon.
Yeah. It was, Mrazek kept him in it. That's basically what it was. He was playing stellar the entire game.
So the Hawks finished the first period, luckily tied after being outshot 14-6. Second period starts, and then something just like that clicked. Clicked for the Hawks. The Hawks go on the power play, and the Dallas Stars make their first big mistake of the game, giving Connor Bedard way too much space. I was trying to think of what's but it was just way too much space to skate him from the sideboard and just put it in far side.
During the play, I was like, oh, he's got so much room. And then also I was like, oh, and Wedgwood's way to his left. And then Bedard just had so much space where he put it. And he even goes bar in though too.
Yeah, perfect plays far side, bar in, his 22nd of the season. And then almost a minute later, Reichel breaks into the zone, tries to split three Dallas Stars players, starts to fall, but instead of throwing it on net, panicking, throwing it on net, doing something stupid, he's able to somehow drop it back to Anthony Ciu breaking in, who was able to put it away for his first goal of the season. Absolutely ridiculous play from Reichel.
Gorgeous play from Reichel. And I was very excited that if he can keep that up for the end of the season, then that's a good way to finish the year off. That's been a little bit tumultuous for him.
Yeah. Nice ego boost, confidence boost going in. And I was kind of saying in our group chat, it sucks that it happened at the end of the season, but you know what? It's better late than never,
Yeah. I like that it did happen at the end of the season because then it shows that he's still capable of pulling that stuff off. And having the year that he has had and like needing that contract, like the Hawks obviously can get him probably a little bit cheaper than if he has been doing that all year.
I think it's going to be like a Kershaw style.
Yeah, I can see that.
Style with him.
More of like a prove-it contract for like 1 or 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be good.
That'd be awesome. And then about 3 minutes later, almost 3 minutes later.
Yeah.
Entwistle. First of all, it starts out with Mrazek making a huge pad save. Puck kicks out. Entwistle picks it up, skates it out, throws it to Donato at the blue line. Donato holds the puck for maybe half a second. Sees Seth Jones breaking in far side. Seth Jones picks it up and he just snipes it home for his 8th of the season.
Yeah. They had a stat up during the game that was just like most goals by a defenseman since like March 13th or something. And Seth Jones leads the NHL with 7 for the defenseman.
It's we said it too before, and it's like it's great seeing him play like this because this is what we thought. This is who we know Seth Jones is.
Right. This is what we were expecting and like hoping would happen. And again, like it's one of those things where I'm almost glad that it's happening towards the end of the season because it's showing us that like it is possible. And the hardships that happened at the beginning of the season have put us in the place that we are in for like a lottery pick, but we know that we have talent.
Yeah, it's just a matter of piecing it together. And we have said this, I think, almost every single time the Hawks have played the Dallas Stars. They are the blueprint of how you want this rebuild to go. Their 2017 draft, where they just absolutely knocked it out of the park. They build it from in their system, and then they bring in the key pieces, vet pieces, to add to complement all their youth and their core and all that kind of stuff. And it has been working amazing. Like, was it Jim Neal? The GM is just doing, or is it James Neal? I don't know. Jim Neal is just a fantastic job out there.
Yeah, they have like the blueprint right now for like a very competitive team, right? Like your young talent is showing up from your draft classes that are like on cheaper deals. Your veteran players are showing up whether it's like brought in with Joe Pavelski or like making that move for Matt Duchene or even within the organization that's been there forever with like Jamie Benn. Like you have like the perfect mix of like 3 stupidly solid lines, fantastic goaltending and amazing defense. It's just, this is like their year, I think, to like win it all.
I think so too. And they're right now, they have the best goal differential in the NHL at +63.
That's surprising.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised by that too.
Putting a lot of goals up.
Yeah, because New York's only +53, Carolina +58. But yeah, being able to pick up a win like that against a team of that caliber, that's a huge confidence booster for these guys going into the final stretch of the season. And this was just a grit win. Grit win for the team. I think more so a Peter Mrazek win. 42 saves on 44 shots for like a 955. Was that?
Stood on his head.
Yeah. First start of the game, absolutely fucking deserved it.
I don't really know about that Jamie Benn goal.
Yeah, I think that was high. It was a high stick, and I think Richardson just wasn't gonna.
This was the game that there was another one that was disallowed, and they came back and they were like, after further review, like the goal is allowed, Chicago gets a penalty, and we're all like, what? We didn't ask for this.
Yeah, Dallas got a penalty. No, he said the right thing except for the good goal part.
No, he said it was now a good goal, and then the Hawks were going to get a penalty, and then the other ref came up and was like, no.
Oh,
it's confirmed. It's confirmed not a goal, and then Dallas gets a penalty. I was like, what a mess up that guy just threw out there.
That's hilarious.
How do you not confirm that with the other refs before you go and just blast the whole stadium with Hawks? Hey, I guess they challenged their own goal, and it's now a goal. And they get a penalty too. Like, what?
It's like, dude, all you got to do is up there and say, no goal, Dallas penalty. That's all you have to say. He gets up there and just, good goal, Blackhawk penalty. Fuck.
So close. 0 for 2.
Yeah. So Hawks finished that one 3-2. And then they didn't have to wait much longer for their next game as they back end of the back-to-back. Minnesota came into town. I was kind of hoping Marc-Andre Fleury was going to get this one, potentially the last time he plays in Chicago. But the Wild called up what's his name?
Jesper Wallstedt.
I thought it was his debut in the NHL. It wasn't.
New his first game, apparently he let up like seven goals or something.
Yeah. So
you knew he was due for a good one.
Yeah. This one was just take everything about Dallas outplaying and outshooting the Hawks, carry that over, but leave all the Blackhawks offense back on Saturday.
Yeah, the 5-minute stretch of offense.
Yeah. Absolute garbage game. Nobody showed up. I honestly didn't watch the full game, if I'm being completely honest here.
I'm pretty sure like the best chances I saw were Wyatt Kaiser had like 2 chances on one shift where he took it to the net or just shot it from the point, and each shot just went high and wide. But like best opportunities of the game by far. From
what I watched, I think this is Wyatt Kaiser's best game. And I think he was by far the best defenseman.
I don't know about best game, but he did play really well.
He was the best defenseman out there for sure. I thought
he was -2.
You lost 4-0.
I know.
So you think Brock Faber's rookie of the year because Connor Bedard's minus fucking whatever now?
Yeah, absolutely. Brock Faber won the matchup, the head-to-head with Connor Bedard. They swept the season series in the Minnesota only gave up 2 goals in the 3 games.
Yeah, they're outscored 10-2. Ooh.
Yeah. Well, thanks for showing up, Connor.
Yeah.
Except for he didn't play one of those games.
Yeah, he only played the third, right? The first one?
The first and the third. Also, why are we only playing Minnesota 3 times?
What is this stupid schedule?
It's kind of lame.
Yeah. So, 4-0.
Let's keep adding teams.
Yeah, let's do it. We'll get to that NHL talk. Soderblom, not the worst. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. I didn't watch too much, so I couldn't tell you if the goals were his fault or not.
I mean, Kaprizov's nasty. Not much you can do when like the Hawks really show up and show no energy.
That's fair.
Another one of those games that like Soderblom's stats are going to look bad, but like the Hawks also provided nothing for him.
Yeah, that's like I would love. We got to go down and break down every game that Soderblom's played and see the goals for and goals against type of.
Oh yeah, just like the goal differential when he's in net.
Yeah. All right, I got nothing for this game because 4-0 loss, 13th shutout. Time the Hawks were shut out this year.
Good stuff.
Good stuff.
It's so frustrating because I think the Hawks weren't shut out at all last year, or very few times. Like they always managed to sneak a goal in, even though they were terrible.
Yeah, they were like the last minute goal. They were like really good at the last minute goal of a period.
So it's just like so frustrating to have this team get shut out so many times.
And it's been a problem they had all season, like from the start. It's just they can't get consistently good performances. Like they haven't won more than 2 games in a row this entire season. Yeah. Like they just whatever it is, it's like call it. People keep saying, "Oh, they're a young team, but it's like there's still enough older guys, vets on this team to be like, hey, we got to be better. Like,
yeah,
this can't be a thing that happens because we're never going to get out of the cellar if this is how you guys are going to continue to play."
Yeah, geez. Hawks gave up 81 shots over the weekend in the 2 games.
And then they got like what, 40 something?
They got like 34. I think they got 17 shots each game, didn't they?
No. They had
17 against Dallas.
24.
24 against Minnesota. Okay.
It's like 41.
So, yeah, 41.
So,
but still, they got outshot by double.
yeah, that's not how you play NHL hockey. Like you're not gonna be good there.
Oh.
And it's
Well,
it's
the
gonna
season's
be
almost over. That's the good thing. The
yeah,
Hawks
and
can
it's just
still play
gonna
spoiler
be
to some teams.
yeah, it's gonna be how that gets addressed in the offseason too. That's pretty much you're gonna have to bring in better pieces for that. Before we talk about coming up, 3 stars of the week for you.
Number 3. I gotta go with either Reichel or Athanasiou.
I was going with Reichel because of the goal. The assist was just filthy.
Okay, because it's also I think it's Athanasiou's first goal in like a year because of like the injury that he had this season.
Yeah,
So I thought that was cool. But yeah, that was a nasty assist.
we give it to them both. 3rd star, the second goal
for that play.
Yeah,
just for the play. Yeah. What would you do too?
2. I was gonna say either Bedard or Jones or even Kaiser.
I was gonna say Seth Jones because he actually had an incredible game against Dallas too.
Yeah, he actually finished the week +2 as well.
Yeah.
And then 1st star, you gotta go Mrazek.
Yeah. Gotta go Mrazek.
I mean,
copy
and pace.
Should have had another disallowed goal. I think it only should have been 1 goal against, and his stats look even better. He would have had like a 9.75 save percentage instead of 9.55, which is still just stupid. Mrazek's had such a good year in comparison to like his past like 5 years or so. Like he has exploded.
He's healthy, and when they were interviewing him after the Dallas game, I mean, it sounds like he wants to be here, which is awesome to see. Like, despite all the shit going on, he seems very happy to be here. He really loves the city, the team, the fans, and all that kind of stuff. Like, it's just him being appreciated again is just doing wonders for him.
Yeah, it's so good. Go out of my way to go get a Mrazek jersey.
Right. All right, so coming up this week, the Blackhawks head to St. Louis to take on the Blues, which could potentially, as Tanner was mentioned earlier, be a spoiler with the Hawks. I mean, they're not making the playoffs.
They're not, but they could be officially eliminated. I think if Vegas wins tonight, that puts both Vegas and Nashville at 7 points above St. Louis, and St. Louis has 4 games left. So if the Hawks beat them, then they have no chance at all, and that's it, finito. So the Hawks could end it as long as Vegas wins tonight.
That would be amazing. I would.
I love it when the Hawks play spoiler for the Blues.
Yes,
but it's another one of those things where I kind of like wish that Vegas would also get eliminated and have the Blues get into the first round and then get smoked, and the Blues have 0 shot of moving into the top 10 in like that whole situation.
It's gonna be if Vegas finishes in that second wild card spot. Oh, we'll talk about it. NHL Talk. Sorry.
Yeah.
I was looking at playoff preview right there. So yeah, St. Louis on Wednesday. Friday they have Nashville comes to town, who is going to be battling for wild card positioning. So the Hawks can still play spoiler there, potentially. Screw them out of 2 necessary points to keep them either playing the top team or the second ranked team.
Yeah, wild card 1 or wild card 2.
And then Sunday they wrap up the home schedule for the 2023-2024 season when the Carolina Hurricanes come to town. No spoiler there.
No, but that game's gonna suck. Carolina smokes us all the time,
and they are
feeling it right now. Good. They are so good. Carolina's the other team like Dallas that I think has the perfect mix of veterans, young guys, goaltending, defense. It's going to be incredible.
And Freddie Anderson's playing fantastic since coming back from injury.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit, yeah. I would not be surprised to see Carolina versus Dallas.
No. I wouldn't either.
Some quick notes for the Hawks, and we'll move on to NHL Talk here. Wyatt Kaiser was sent down to Rockford today. They're is the expectation that Connor Murphy is coming back on Wednesday to play the Blues. So that's why the only reason Kaiser is being sent down. It's not because of performance or anything like that.
I think it's good too because Rockford is headed to the playoffs.
Yeah.
And Kaiser will probably be top line there too.
Too bad the Hawks didn't do a paper transaction on Bedard and let him go play in the playoffs.
That would just be unfair.
Oh, he couldn't do it though because of his age and rule. That's right.
Yeah, he goes back to Regina. Are they headed to the playoffs?
Could he though because he's played more than 10 games?
I don't know. I don't know the ruling on that, but I feel like you probably just don't let him go to Rockford ever.
Yeah.
Like if the season's over, you're just like, all right, hey, good job out there, buddy. Like take the summer to do whatever you want to train up. I'm sure all he's gonna do is take faceoffs all summer.
Well, so I just remember this because bringing up Bedard. Connor Bedard is going to be more than likely playing for Team Canada at the World Championship. Right. GM Rick Nash, which is mind blowing to me that he is GM now. At this point.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Wow.
He talked about how he's only reached out to 2 players so far. He's respecting the team still playing and in contention for the Stanley Cup that playoffs that he's not contacting. So he's only contacted Bedard and Mason McTavish.
Nice.
Bucks. Okay. So 100%, Bedard's going to be signing up to go play for Team Canada in the World Championship. And
no Carter Hart.
Yeah, right. Too soon, man. Too soon. So that's you only got about a month of no Bedard before you get to watch him back on the ice when because that kicks off at like mid-May.
But do you get to watch him? Where is that even at?
Oh yeah, where's it at this year?
Like what are we watching on?
Maybe on NHL Network.
Yeah, if you had an NHL Network. I don't know.
Good shit.
Who else is going to be? Oh, if Pittsburgh is eliminated, didn't they say Crosby might join?
There was talks about Crosby, yeah.
That'd be pretty sick. If Bedard gets to play with Crosby, dude, he's going to learn so much in a few weeks.
Do you think Bedard is enough to make Crosby want to come and play?
Probably. Like, why not? That's like the only chance. I mean, I guess not, because like
next year
Crosby has an absolute possibility of being in the Olympics still.
And next year the 4 Nations tournament?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, there's going to be some play for them, but like, I don't know. Crosby's incredible.
It's stupid what he's doing.
Yeah, I want to get to it, but I was going to say, did you see the tip against Tampa Bay that Crosby had
between his legs? Oh my God. It's ridiculous. Like it's not. He should not be still able to do that kind of stuff at his age.
No. I think like if it was more like agile stuff, but like the angles, like that's the sweetness that comes with the age and doing it forever. And he's just like, I'll just put this on that easy, and it just goes like off the crossbar. Oh my God, he's insane.
That was goal of the year that goes in. That's all. But last thing for Hawks talk, Colin Blackwell is the Blackhawks nominee for the Masterson Trophy, which is good for him. I mean, it's not like he gets recognized a lot for that kind of for like awards and all that kind of stuff. And it's just he seems like I'm just reading his quote about that too. He just seems like a very bitter guy because of that.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah, he's like, oh, I guess I don't go completely unnoticed out there. Like it's just kind of like I know it's like
maybe because are you watching him with this?
Or no, that's what I'm saying though. I was also saying it's like presentation, but like at the same time, it's just like him talking about the chip on my shoulder and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
30 years old, blah blah blah. And it's just like I kind of get the vibe, but at the same time, it could be genuine like hockey guy.
Yeah, maybe he's just like joking around about it, but I don't know.
Yeah, it was funny. I'm just like, man, this guy is really fucking bitter. Good for him. That's all I got on NHL Talk or Hawks Talk.
Hawks Talk? Yeah. Yeah, who knows? Murphy coming back. We'll see what that looks like. That's the only thing. I know you mentioned it already, but the Hawks are going to return with or end the season on the healthier side, which is kind of funny after struggling like in the heart of the season with all the injuries.
Yeah, so potentially the only players missing will be Taylor Hall and Corey Perry from the opening night roster.
Yeah, I'd still like to see Murphy with like Kaiser though. I feel like that would be a really good pairing.
I think it will. I bet you Kaiser gets called back up at least one more time.
I think he probably spends the rest of the season in Rockford and goes to the playoffs. But like by the time the season starts next year, if we still have Murphy in the lineup with Seth Jones, Korchinski, Vlasic, and then whoever else, I can see maybe Murphy and Wyatt Kaiser being together. That'd be pretty good. I know it was like Murphy and Korchinski were together for
a little bit. Yeah,
we'll see.
So, all right, moving on to NHL talk. Stop this if you heard this before.
Crosby. I want to talk about Crosby again.
Talk about Crosby. Go for it.
So he is not. I mean, obviously, like we talked about how fucking awesome he is. Did you know that this is only his third 40-goal season that he's had?
I didn't even know he had 40 goals this year.
He hit 40, and his 40-goal seasons are 7 years apart each one.
Oh shit!
Yeah, his first one was he had 51 goals in 2009, 2010. 7 years later, in 16-17, he hit 44, and 7 years later, in 23-24, he hits 40. I mean, he can obviously put up a couple more, but how funny is that?
He's a freak. He does everything in patterns.
Yeah, right.
They gotta have some sort of 8x7, 87.
I'm surprised like he hasn't finished every season with 87 points.
Right, just stops.
Yeah.
Well, did you see like that? That's what people were saying about McDavid because he sat on like 29 goals and 97 assists for a couple games, and they're like he's just really gone whole on finishing the season with Leon Draisaitl goals and McDavid assists.
the dynamic duo for the stats.
And he's now at 30 and 99, I believe.
Oh wow. Yeah,
or it's 31, yeah. But yeah, so Crosby fucking freaking nature. But no, what I was gonna say before, stop us if you heard this before. There's drama in Arizona regarding where the hell this team's gonna play. It started off last week with a really weird like announcement from the team / owner.
Like they are here to stay, or the one where he's like, I'm selling the team for $1 billion.
Yeah. So he talks about how he's reaching out to see gauging interest in buying the team. He wants at least $1 billion. And either that was first or within like a couple hours after that, the social media account starts saying, finally, it is time. They reveal a stadium that's never gonna get made. And they talk about the commitment to winning the bid to buy land to build this privately. So it's like you are boasting this plan in the stadium, talking like it's a done deal. And you don't even own the land.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
And then today, the mayor of Scottsdale pretty much came out and said, you keep this team away from my city. We don't want you here.
It's the resources,
right? Yeah, but
they're like, if you're gonna be there, you better pull from like Phoenix for your like resources because it's not infrastructure is not built there. It's like, well, I mean, genuine concern.
Right, yeah,
you're in the middle of a desert.
So
stupid fucking situation. Oh my god.
So it's going to be $68 million is the opening bid for this plot of land. And I hope somebody with FU money comes in and just outbids them just to outbid them.
Yeah. Oh my god, that'd be so funny.
And so then they're going to probably it's going to be in the hundreds of millions to get this land. And then they're apparently paying for the stadium themselves and building up the area for themselves. So it's like how much money
to come in and do the infrastructure, right? Like if it's not there, there's gonna be so much more that they have to put into it.
At what point do they just say, you know what?
Bye.
the Utah Jazz owner, Ryan Smith, like, okay, you still want to overpay for this team? Like, at what point does that happen?
Yeah, just let him. I mean, if he wants to buy the team, just give it to like Utah, please. Like they have the want, they have the resources. Like, just give it up.
And it goes back to the whole thing of like Gary Bettman pushing Arizona as a hockey market. It's clearly they are not wanted in Arizona by the people that the opinions matter. And then it's like you have teams like Utah, Houston, Quebec, like Hartford, like all these areas that want a team and are willing to support a team. And they keep getting pushed off for fucking Arizona because Bettman will not let this go.
Yeah. I feel like Oregon would be a cool place to be too. I don't know. I feel like Pacific Northwest is just like they just got into Seattle. Like that'd be a cool like area to like still establish. Fucking Bozeman, Montana, baby. Like
all places better than Arizona. Like I love it in Arizona because I love the Kachina jerseys. I'm so glad those are back. But it's not worth keeping them there.
But you know what else is cool? Like Hartford Whaler jerseys. And like those are cool because it's nostalgic. Like if the Arizona jersey becomes just nostalgic, that's fine. Like you'll have the Utah team and they can have the throwbacks of like Coyotes night every once in a while.
We know hockey games move fast, but with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL, you can score faster than anything happening on the ice. This week, new customers can bet $5 and get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app with code THPN. New customers bet just $5 on the NHL and get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code THPN. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-878-97777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino Resort in Kansas. 21 plus age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours of issuance. See dkng.com/hockey for eligible and deposit restrictions, terms, of responsible gambling resources. NHL and NHL Shield are registered trademarks of the National Hockey League. Copyright NHL 2024. All rights reserved.
And then they can also do like Winnipeg Jets night too, because it's still part of the organization.
But yeah, they go to Utah. I think Utah is really confident they're going to get a team because the owner put out a questionnaire. If the NHL does come to Utah, what would you want to see the team called? And I am sure this is going to be very PC and not make fun of the Mormon stereotype that Utah has at all.
Yeah. I think, there'd be some good ones. I'm curious what they would actually come up with. It might be something just kind of lame. I don't know. The Kraken and Golden Knights are kind of pretty decent.
Yeah, I just don't know.
What would they be? Like in a real sense, not like in a joking one.
Oh yeah. Let's see.
Like they have the Jazz. I don't even. Does that even make sense? The Utah Jazz.
So the Utah state animal is the elk.
Oh, that'd be cool though.
You could probably do something cool with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
They also have Rocky Mountain elks, dark kangaroo mouse. That's an animal in Utah.
Hey, there you go. Well, they could just be like the Utah Rocky Mountains.
Utah Rockies.
Yeah, even though the old Colorado team. I
mean, yeah, I think the elk could actually be really cool.
Yeah, I think elk would be really neat too.
Because I mean, Milwaukee Bucks have a cool stuff with that, and it's kind of the same family. So
I love like when stuff like this comes out and like jersey mock-ups are hitting the shelves on the old internet.
Yeah.
And I saw one. I forgot what they named the team, but it was basically like a dark like forest green with some of like that orange that Phoenix already has in their jerseys, just like kind of incorporated with like a brown. And I was like, that's kind of sick. That would be a good jersey setup.
I wonder if they would do like the Utah Jazz colors a little bit. Like, would it be the same stadium?
I don't know if it's like already a multi-purpose or if they can set it up to like multi-purpose.
Yeah. Because I mean, Utah Jazz looks like their colors are like purple, yellow, and green.
Is that what they are currently? Because they used to be like purple and blue. I thought.
I'm looking. I don't know.
But I'm thinking Jazz of like the '90s.
Yeah,
like
there's like 30 different jerseys. The NBA literally has a different jersey for every game. I feel like.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know
have
what
like
the
Spanish
actual
like the Bulls have like the Lobos jerseys.
Yeah. So
and then like the city jerseys and like I'm talking about jerseys, man. I can't wait. At some point, the Hawks have to have a Chicago like flag colored jersey.
Yeah, that's like I wonder if they're gonna do anything with Fanatics, like because I don't know if they can do reverse retro anymore. Like if that's an Adidas like
that's a trademark.
Yeah. So I wonder if they'll do like a city type thing. That would be like they should. Like that would be
like
awesome.
what's the gimmick for Fanatics? That'd be cool.
Yeah. But no, I 100% agree. Like the Chicago blue and red is just is so sick. It's such a great combo.
Yeah, it is. Kind of love it. What else?
Playoffs. Update. Yeah.
Playoffs. Hey, the East is flipping every day.
East is fun. Teams that clinched are Boston, Florida, Toronto, New York, Carolina, and Tampa Bay.
And then teams realistically in the hunt for the playoffs: Islanders, Red Wings, Penguins, Caps, Flyers. Teams kind of unrealistically still there: Devils and Sabres, right?
Yeah, they're the only two that are not eliminated in the East yet. That they're not at the 80-point mark, but they haven't been officially eliminated yet.
The most that they can get points wise is 85, and Islanders are at 85, and Detroit's at 84, and then Pittsburgh, Washington, Philly are all at 83.
So if Philly, Washington.
The funny thing about that, though, too, is like if all the teams somehow ended at 85, New Jersey and Buffalo would be in because they have the most regulation wins.
The funny thing is, I can totally see it happening because I feel like nobody wants to take this spot. Like nobody wants this to clinch.
No. And it's so funny. Like the Islanders are right now sitting in third in the Metro and they're minus 23 goal differential. Washington is right there with a minus 41 goal differential. Oh, Jesus. Who do you want to get in out of all those teams?
I want Detroit.
Yeah.
I want Detroit to sit where they're at right now because I want to see Kane, DeBrincat versus Panarin and just, the love triangle on the playoff stage. I don't know though. It's like the Metro. Who's in the actual Metro here?
It's Islanders, Penguins, Capitals, Flyers.
I want to see probably Washington. I would say Washington, Detroit. Because one, it just Pittsburgh missing as much as I want. The playoffs would be better with Crosby in it. Just seeing Kyle Dubas just going all in on older players and it just not panning out is just too funny to me.
Yeah.
The Islanders, I think they need to miss the playoffs for their own sake because hopefully that owner wakes up and gets rid of Lou and brings in somebody who's actually going to make a move. And the Flyers, they're a great story. I have nothing against them. They would be my third choice, I think.
I would honestly like to I think Detroit being in would be really cool, but my main thing that would be fantastic is Pittsburgh sneaks into the 3 spot, Washington sneaks into the wild card 2, they each win their first round, match up in the second round. How sick would that be?
Oh, that'd be like vintage.
Like one last like playoff battle. Crosby.
That would be it. I think that would literally be the last chance.
Yeah.
That would actually be really cool.
Until next year when they're fucking both like top of the league for some reason.
Somehow, yeah. I can be 100%.
Ovechkin pots 65.
You pulled up the games left, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So this is just like, who do you think has the best shot, right? So the Islanders, they have, I mean, all the teams have 5 games currently, except for the fact that teams are playing like right now or today. Because what was it?
Pittsburgh,
I think Toronto playing
Pittsburgh and Toronto.
Pittsburgh and Toronto's going on right now.
They're tied 1-1 halfway through the second.
And then okay, and that's just Nucks and Knights tonight. So that's it. So yeah, so all teams have 5 as of right now, including the game that Pittsburgh's playing. So the Islanders, they play the Rangers twice, Montreal, New Jersey, and Pittsburgh. Detroit plays Washington, Pittsburgh, Toronto, and Montreal twice. Pittsburgh plays Detroit, Boston, Nashville, and the Islanders, and they're currently playing the Leafs. And then Washington plays Detroit, Buffalo, Tampa, Boston, and then Philly. And Philly ends up playing only 4: Montreal, Islanders, New Jersey, and Washington. So it's a lot of like teams in the mix playing each other. But obviously, I think the toughest right now is the Islanders playing against the Rangers twice.
Yeah.
And like, even though the Rangers are locked in, like the Rangers do not fucking care that the Islanders are fighting for a spot.
So, but do you think any of the Rangers are going to rest guys? And that
no, because it's more of the next two out of the next 3 games are against the Islanders, not like the last games of the season.
Oh, okay, so it's still too early.
So they're still if they want like home ice advantage for all of the playoffs, they need to win like those games and really secure it. Oh, yeah, though they're 3 points up right now. Easiest out of that those schedules. It's I don't know, it's tough, but I think they all play each other except for Detroit gets Montreal twice. Detroit literally gets the last 2 games of the season against Montreal, and they're back-to-back games too. So that can really be a huge deciding factor. But the fact that they're all playing against each other is just the best.
Yeah, that's the way it should be. You should not have to rely on a team losing to a team that has nothing to do with playoff, contention. Like you want to be in the playoffs, you have to beat the team in front of you. Let's go. Like, just stomp them out and win. Like, God, that reminds me, like, what year was it when it was like the last game of the season? The Hawks made it in against Minnesota.
It was 2011. The Hawks were the 8th seed going in, because they ended up playing against the Canucks first round. Yeah, and they lost the game. It's just also the team that needed to be they just another team needed to win in order to get in, and they lost. So the Hawks were okay.
That goes against.
I think it was Minnesota. Like, was the team that needed to win to get in, and they lost, and the Hawks didn't win their game to like really seal it.
Minnesota choking, huh? Surprise, surprise.
Yeah. Man, I think it's gonna be so fun though.
The East is just set up to be so much fun this last couple games, and then the West, it's like the West is set.
Pretty much.
It's just a matter of when St. Louis and Minnesota gets eliminated from contention. The real battle is
LA and Vegas.
Yeah, and in the 2 wildcard spots, like Nashville needs to just keep winning to stay in that first spot.
Yeah.
And
honestly, the Oilers can possibly take first place in Pacific.
They're close. I just realized how close they are. I didn't realize they're only 3 points out.
Yeah. That's kind of crazy. That's insane that Edmonton has fought back so hard since that terrible start to the season.
See, I was right that they could have been the President's Trophy winners and Stanley Cup favorite if they would have just showed up how they're supposed to play.
Yeah. I think it's funny that Winnipeg, I mean, they have 3 wins in a row, but they're 4-5-1 in their last 10. And it's like, this is classic Winnipeg now, right? Like making it into the playoffs, but like hobbling in and like barely playing well, and then just getting smoked round 1. Like they're not drawing a good matchup no matter what.
No.
they either get Dallas or they get Colorado, unless they continue to lose their last 5 games and Nashville wins their last 4 and dumps them into the wild card spot.
See, it's gonna be I think they're pretty set at that 3 spot. I think the Central's set where it's at. Yeah. I think it's gonna be Dallas, Colorado, Winnipeg.
Yeah, Dallas is 9-1 in their last 10, and guess who they lost to?
Blackhawks, baby. Let's go.
That's just how you write it up.
And then they go and they beat Colorado the next day.
7-5 or something. Jesus. They were pissed.
Yeah. So, yeah. We are so close to playoff time. A week from Saturday, playoff start.
Yeah, baby.
Woo. Let's go. Best time of the year.
So we're probably going to record a little bit later in the week next week just to
try to figure out, hopefully some of the matchups get set up. Yeah. So worst case, we'll do our stupid Instagram graphic. Here's who we pick, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But let's take a real quick look at just the points, the Art Ross race, because that's fucking nuts, and then we'll wrap this up.
Oh, sure.
Real quick. So, I closed it out.
Kucherov 136, McKinnon 133, McDavid 130.
Stupid.
And then some schmuck named Panarin at 115 only.
Here's the question: does JT Miller and Nylander get 100?
Oh, I don't know. I feel like Miller should. It's funny because I'm pretty sure he hasn't hit 100 yet. He hit 99 before, or did he hit 100 last year?
I think he hit 100 last year.
No, 97 last year. And then 99 2 years before that. So he hasn't hit 100 before. Oh, no, he's at 97 this year. What am I talking about? Sorry. That's this current season, 97. Last year, 82, and the year before, 99. He's got a good shot. He's got plenty of games left to hit 3 more points.
6? 5?
5. Yeah. That's pretty solid.
And then Matthews running away with the Rocket.
Who do you think gets the Hart?
It's I don't know, man. McDavid seems like the favorite because of what he did to get to where he's at. Come crappy start of the season, being injured, and still wills his way up to top 3 in points.
Yeah.
Kucherov's having a fantastic year, but his team isn't doing great. They're going to the playoffs, but they're a wild card team. But McKinnon, man, it's tough.
I'm just going to make the argument that I think it should be Kucherov, only based off this pure fact that McKinnon has Rantanen, who also has 100-plus points, and McDavid has Draisaitl, who also has 100-plus points. And, sure, there's other good players on Tampa, but the next closest is Braden Point with 85.
Yeah, isn't it the second biggest, differential between...
50-point gap.
Yeah, that's fucking insane.
And a 50-point gap with another point-per-game player, which is crazy.
It should be Kucherov. But what you're saying, when has that ever stopped the NHL or the Raiders from giving the Hart to a guy? Because that's been the argument with McDavid and Draisaitl.
That's the thing, right? If McDavid hits 100 assists, that's the first time in so long that it's happened since Gretzky.
Yeah.
And that's incredible on its own. But then you have the argument that, Austin Matthews, if he hits, I don't think he's going to hit 70, but if he does, that's another one. You have the guy with the most points in the league at 100, maybe 140 plus for Kucherov. And then you have the guy that hits 100 assists for the first time in forever and a guy that hits 70 goals in first time in forever. That's a real tough decision. I don't think that McKinnon gets in that conversation just because of those other 2-point spreads.
Yeah. And that's the thing too. There's a trophy for goals. There's a trophy for points. The Hart Trophy is who's valuable to their team. Was Kucherov the most valuable to his team? Putting up his 136 points. Was fucking Panarin the most valuable to his team, putting up the 115 that he's at? You know what I mean? Like, I think that's what gets twisted. Like, and that's what's really frustrating with the way awards are going now. It goes, most points gets the award.
Yeah, because it usually equates out to like the player that's most valuable, right? So, but when it's such a tight race like this, you really do, I think, have to take into account like it is who is the most valuable to their team.
I think Kucherov gets it. Should get it.
Yeah, I do too.
But that means McDavid will end up winning it.
Well, there's also there's the Lester B. Pearson or the Ted Lindsay. That's the one I'm on.
What's the one? One's players, right? Vote.
Yeah, it's the Ted Lindsay is the NHL's outstanding player as selected by the members of the NHL Players Association, so the NHLPA. And I feel like this year might be one of the only, like, I feel like it's a really rare time when the Hart and the Lindsay aren't going to the same person. And I think this is a possible year for that.
Oh,
because
100%. Yeah,
like you can easily see, like, if the Hart goes to the one with the most points, then you get Cooch. But if you're getting the players to vote on who's the most outstanding player, go McDavid or McKinnon.
100%.
And it's just going to be like that would be a cool little thing, because I don't know how often that actually really happens.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, it's why I love and I hate the NHL awards. Like, especially like you go with the Norris Trophy. Like, best defense is supposed to be the best defensive or the best defenseman. Let's give it to the defenseman with the most points, but his plus minus sucked.
Yeah, I wish, like, I mean, obviously, like, you can add and remove awards. There's been awards that are no longer awarded anymore. And, like, they've added some awards, like, way after the fact. A lot of them have been, like, created. So the fact that we've gone this long without, like, a differentiation between offensive defenseman and defensive defenseman, when now we have supporting statistics for each one,
exactly,
like those advanced stats. Yeah, like I feel like it just needs to be added. Like, why have two separate awards basically, or like a defensive offensive player award when you don't have an offensive defensive player award? Like, what makes the defensive forward so much more special than the offensive defenseman?
Yeah, I don't know.
And the offensive defenseman's just the Norris Trophy now. So, like, the defensive defenseman is just, yeah, man, thanks for showing up. Here's $5 million a year because you don't get any awards.
Yep. You're preaching to the Jalmerson choir right there.
Yeah, right.
Oh man, I was gonna say I can't. That's the future I want to live in, when Wyatt Kaiser and Alex Vlasic are being presented the Nicholas Jalmerson Award for defensive excellency.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be great.
But all right, that's all I got.
Yeah, that's about it.
All right, you know what I'm gonna say.
Else? All right. It is. Because there wasn't much for like Hawks.
No.
So I want to do like, it's like the wild card wind down.
I was gonna say like home stretch.
Dude, I feel like we've said home stretch like the past like 4 weeks. Like, we're almost there.
Almost there.
It's almost over. We're in the home stretch.
Yeah.
Mercy's upon us soon.
How about Wild East?
Yeah, like wild card East. No, I mean, we can just do like wacky wild card Wednesday.
Man, you have got to get back on your game with these names.
Hopefully, what should we call the episode? He wants to call it Blippy, I swear. Yeah, man. Maybe instead of wild card wind down, wild card wind up.
Wild card windup.
You gotta have the alliteration. We haven't had alliteration in a minute.
Wild card windup. All right, the WCW. Let's go. All right. Episode 270. Make sure to follow us on your favorite podcast feeds, Apple Podcasts and Spotify, the big two. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Social media at WCB Podcast. DraftKings promo code THPN. Yeah, and we'll see you on the next one.
All right. Love you, boys. Bye.
Thanks for listening to the WCB Podcast. Be sure to subscribe wherever you heard this podcast. To connect with Jarom and Tanner, check out the boys at WCB Podcast on all social media. We'll see you next time.